Welcome everyone. Today I'm going to talk about a very important topic that is about Rahu and Mars conjunction together. This conjunction is also called as the Angarak Yoga, and it is not considered as a very desirable conjunction for any chart to be having, because there are lots of difficulties a person is going to have in his life, and there are lots of good things also which a native can experience through this. So what are those good and bad things I'll be talking about through this video? Before I begin, I want to thank one of my subscribers who requested me to make a video on this topic, especially in the fourth house. But my dear friend, I'm going to talk about its placement in all the 12 houses and the results of this conjunction in general. So first of all, to begin with, let's understand what are the energies of planet Mars. Although I know by now you all know that Mars is all about some assertion, it's all about your male energies, it's all about aggression, it's about accidents, it's about your stamina, your logic, your power, and it is also about your impulsiveness. Sometimes male Mars can also give some sinful tendencies. Now, what happens with the energies of Rahu? Rahu is all very secretive. So when Rahu is present, it means the energies are on very secretive level. Rahu makes somebody very deceitful. So Rahu can cause the energies of Mars to become very deceitful. So Rahu is also about confusion. It will never give you clarity. Rahu is also about adultery. Rahu is also about chronicity. Rahu is also about expansion. And Rahu causes some kind of large scale work. So Rahu gives you ability to work on large machines, to work on nuclear plants, to work on atomic plants. So Rahu also gives you some very good capabilities. Rahu is also about your logic, which is like par excellence. So if you have a good Rahu, it can give you really very strong Rahu. But usually Rahu uh, is not that strong in a person's chart. It will give you lots of problems with respect to your regular thinking. So the regular thinking gets totally disturbed when Rahu is not that strong in a given chart. Here, Rahu becomes afflicted by being with planet Mars, and Mars becomes afflicted by being with Rahu. So both the planets are naturally malefic planets. So what happens when these two naturally malefic planets are present together in a given horoscope? Now, Mars is also about your blood and also about your younger siblings, especially your brothers. Mars is also about land. It's also called as a Bhumi. It was the child of the earth, Bhumi Putra, Bhom. So, we'll start from the fourth house itself. So, Mars and Rahu in the fourth house is not a desirable combination, because the fourth house is about your land. So Mars in the fourth house will give you some disputes related to acquisition of land. So you will have to fight for acquiring your land. So with Rahu, it shows that you may go through some cheating, forgery where land matters are concerned. So it will take you away from your homeland. And usually I have seen this in the charts of people who are not able to live in their homeland, and usually they will face problems in the place where they are living, because fourth house is also about your vastu. So Rahu and Mars in the fourth house will give you vastu dosh, and fourth house is about your mother's happiness. So it will take away that happiness from you unless there is a benefic aspect falling in the fourth. If there is no benefic aspect, it can deny you the happiness of your mother. Now we have to also see the position of planet moon to reach to a conclusion, but I am telling you about the general results which can be expected. One of the charts which I have seen in the recent past is of a person who has Rahu and Mars in his fourth. So he suffered blood cancer. So fourth house is also about your immunity. So he suffered blood cancer, but the good thing is he was saved because Jupiter's energies were also there in the fourth house. So even a single malefic in any given house where this combination is happening, even a single benefit will save you from that. So this person suffered in terms of his health. And the fourth house is also about your regular education. It's about your high school education up till your 12th grade. So it will give you difficulties. It can deny you of that happiness, or it can give you difficulties on that regard. But then you have to see the position of your Jupiter also. That is also very important before you conclude on this aspect of your life. So the fourth house is about your Vastu. So here Mars and Rahu can give you a Vastu dosha. So as per my thought, I would suggest you to get a Vastu correction done by a Vastu expert if you have Rahu and Mars in the fourth house. Usually these people are not able to live comfortably in their homes which they buy, and they will always be on the verge of traveling due to some reason or the other. So it denies you of your regular stay in the home that you buy. It also makes you prone towards accidents. Now whenever Mars is about accidents and Rahu is also about accidents and suddenness, when they are together, it makes you prone towards accidents. In the fourth house, which is all about conveyance, it gives you a sure shot probability of going through that disaster. So you have to do some remedies for that, which I will be telling you by the end of this video. Rahu and Mars in the fourth house can also disturb your peace of mind, because fourth house is also associated with your peace of mind. So you will see that you are always troubled on some pretext or the other. So here the remedies are strongly required. Now talking about this presence of Rahu and Mars in the fifth house. The fifth house is about your children. It's about your love life. You will see that the love relationships are also not stable. They are not sticking. And if you plan to get married somehow, you will see that there would be problems related to the childbirth also if if Rahu and Mars are in your fifth house. Now this house is also the eighth of your 10th. So having two malefics in the fifth will make sure that your job will be very unstable. You will feel that despite doing your best, there are problems that you are facing at your job, and the job stability is always at stake with this combination of Rahu and Mars in your fifth house. Now in the sixth house, it is a desired placement because the sixth house is a Upche house and it is of your job also. So it is also the house of competitions. So what happens, Mars and Rahu together will make you very competitive. It will make you a very tough fighter, because sixth house is also about your enemies. So you will see that you indeed have enemies who are known to you, but you also have the capability to fight against those enemies. And it's very difficult for your enemies to stand up against you. And sixth house Rahu Mars will make you a very strong fighter. These people could be excellent doctors, excellent lawyers. In fact, I have seen chart of a doctor who has Rahu and Mars in the sixth, and Mars is placed in the sign of Scorpio here. And this is the person who is dealing with emergency cases, the cases where the patient is on the verge of dying. So look at the beauty of this placement of Rahu and Mars. The person is able to handle those cases on day-to-day basis where the criticality of life and death are concerned. So that makes you a very strong person where fighting a problem is concerned. And if I have also seen this placement in the chart of lawyers who are very good in their field, and they are taking those cases which involve uh, criminal law. So they could be wonderful criminal lawyers if they have Rahu and Mars in their sixth house. So this is also the house of your day-to-day work. It is also the house of your job. So it can make you do work where you are dealing with large machines or large manufacturing kind of work. So here it is considered as a desirable placement. It will make you very strong in your stamina also. You could be very fond of exercises. Now Rahu and Mars in the seventh house, in a practical scenario where I have seen in one of the cases, it has given you excellence in businesses, and these people are into manufacturing something. Like one of the cases I remember is of a person who is having Mars debilitated in the seventh house along with Rahu, and that person is doing the catering business, because Mars in the Cancer sign can make you a wonderful cook. So these people can go into catering businesses, manufacturing food in large scale and thereby supplying it to people. So, but Rahu and Mars in the seventh house is not good for the living being. So here the person will suffer on grounds of his marriage, on grounds of his relationship with their partners. So it has actually happened the way I'm telling you. In the case which I have seen, the person is flourishing in his business, but there is a lot of difficulty where their relationship with their spouse is concerned. Now talking about Rahu and Mars in the in the eighth house, this is again not a desired placement, because eighth house itself is a house of suddenness of events, and Mars is also a planet which is associated with accidents, and Rahu is also about suddenness of events. So here it can give somebody suicidal tendencies, it can give somebody proneness towards accidents and some chronic problems. Like these people could be having some problems related to hemorrhoids or some sexual issues they may be dealing with. So Rahu is about infections. So with Mars, it can give you infections related to sexuality. So you better be careful with this combination. Now Rahu and Mars in the ninth house is like a Pitra dosha. So these people will suffer on grounds of their luck, and they will see that despite doing a lot of hard work, things are not flourishing, they are not getting good results. And where the happiness of gurus or fathers, father is concerned, they will not get good results with Rahu and Mars in their ninth house unless there is a benefic aspect. Now, Rahu and Mars in the 10th house is a desired combination, because here Mars will be able to defeat Mars will be able to defeat anyone and everyone uh, in the placement of 10th house. With Rahu, you can be into manufacturing work. In fact, I have a chart of a person who actually doesn't have Rahu and Mars in the 10th, but the 10th Lord Mars has gone to his 12th house and it is exalted in the 12th house in the Capricorn sign with Rahu. So this person is manufacturing defense uniform on a very large scale and is having a very good business, flourishing business. So although Mars is present in the 12th house, but it is exalted here and it is the 10th lord here. With Rahu, they are into manufacturing business of the defense uniform, and 12th house is about the defense forces only. So beautiful combination is being made through this placement of Rahu and Mars in the 12th house. So, but here I have also seen in two other charts where Rahu and Mars are in the 10th house. These people will find sudden difficulties in their place of work, and due to their angersome attitude, because from here Mars is also giving you the fourth aspect on your ascendant. So it makes you very aggressive in your thought process. So due to your aggressive attitude at work, there could be some grave difficulties and there could be sudden loss of job happening with this placement of Rahu Mars in the 10th house. I have seen in 2-3 charts where this has actually happened, and these people then later on realized that it was due to their uh, assertive nature, it was due to their a very upfront nature that they had to suffer a loss of job. So Rahu and Mars in the 11th house is considered a good placement, but at the same time, it can also give you underhand dealings, the gains which are coming through underhand. So on that regard, it is not considered appropriate, but yes, there is no harm also with this placement of Rahu and Mars in the 11th house. So you will actually, I have seen a case of a person. While I was doing my research on Rahu and Mars, I happened to see the chart of Ajmal Kasab, a known terrorist who was hanged till death. So he was caught while he was into some mission, and he has his Mars debilitated in the 11th house and Rahu in his 7th house. So one thing I would also like to add is that it's not only the conjunction of Rahu and Mars, it can also be the trine placement of Rahu and Mars that can be very dangerous. Because as per Nadi astrology, if the planets are placed in trines to each other, or if the planets are placed adjacent to each other, or if they are aspecting each other, then also the effect of conjunction could be felt in those two planets. So here, Mars is in its debilitated sign in the 11th house, and Rahu is sitting in the 7th house. So they are in trine to each other. So when Mars becomes debilitated, the logic is perturbed. Logic is not satisfactory here, and Rahu in trine to it has further deteriorated the logic, the thinking process. So here we saw that the person could also follow the wrong path of life, which is not conforming to the rules of the society. So it's not good when Mars is weak in a given horoscope, then the person will have grave sufferings if Rahu and Mars are connecting in some way through trines or through conjunction. So if the Mars energy is not appropriate, then there is suffering. So Rahu and Mars in the 12th house is also not desired, because here you will find it very hard to save money. It's the house of expenditures. So you will be spending money on those things which are not desirable. Also, it's the house of your bed pleasures. So Rahu and Mars in the 12th will make you seek bed pleasures which are like not approved by the society. Sometimes these people may be having one night stands because of Rahu and Mars in the 12th house. So in the first house, it will make you very angersome and prone to accidents and injuries. And if Mars is exalted in the first house, or in the sign of Aries, or in the sign of Scorpio, then it will make you very self-cautious, and you will be exercise freak. You will be taking care of yourself very well, and to some extent you will be very you can say obsessed with your own self, but you will be angersome. If Rahu and Mars are together in your second house, your speech would be very disturbing to others. You could be very assertive with whatever is there to tell, and sometimes you will find it very hard to contain money. So these are the people who will either lose money on some extent, on some grounds, or they would want to invest their money into something. Because I have seen, if a Mars planet like Mars is placed in the second house, these people are very fond of investing money rather than keeping them in their lockers. So they want to invest the money further. That way we can expect the results. And also it will destroy the harmony in your family life if Mars and Rahu are placed together in the second house. Now in the third house, it is a desired placement. It will make you very strong. And in fact, I have seen the chart of a lady who is into social work, and she is fighting for a social cause. She counsels people who are in problems, and she's a lawyer. And in the third house, Rahu and Mars does very well. So it will make you fight for a cause. It will make you very strong and assertive. So friends, these are some of the results that can be seen. Also, I want to tell you that because Mars is about blood and Rahu is about infection, so it can give you blood related infection, and Mars is about land, so Rahu can give you cheating in pretext of land and land related problems. Mars is about your younger siblings, it's your brothers. So Rahu with Mars can give you some difficulties related to your siblings, and it can also take them away from you. Like they could be living in a foreign land, or sometimes they may be having some problems. So Rahu is being a karmic planet. So with Mars, I have seen one of the charts where the person is having a younger sibling, younger sister, who is not uh, a normal child. She is having some problems. So she's a special child, and but you see, Rahu being a karmic planet, so this native is having lots of affection towards her younger sibling who is a special child. So she feels that she has deep connection with her younger sibling. So you can also expect some results like this, that you may be having some past life connection with your younger sibling, and you will see yourself on the verge of helping them in their day-to-day needs, and you will always feel connected to your younger siblings. So but they will go through some difficulties if Rahu and Mars are together. Now when it comes to the sexuality of the person, for a male, Mars is his sexual energies, and with Rahu, the sexual energies will suffer. If Mars is very strong, then these people can be perverts and they can go out of the way to seek sexual happiness. But if Mars is weak here, and if it is with Rahu, these people can doubt their sexual capabilities and they may be having some serious problems related to their sexual energies. For a female, Mars and Rahu can give problems with her spouse, and she may not be respecting her spouse to the extent it is desired. So it gives some problems for sure. So she will not look up at her husband in a very respectful manner. So friends, these are some of the results which I could think of, which I'm sharing here with all of you. Another thing, Mars and Rahu energies can be handled by Lord Shiva. So if you have this connection in your chart, I would suggest you to pray to Lord Shiva on a regular basis and do one Rudrabhishek every year, once a year. And you can also regularly pray to Lord Hanuman, and that will be also very useful, because Rahu and Mars can be very suicidal also. So here the logical thinking of Mars is totally destroyed when it comes in association with planet Rahu. So take care of all these things and do the remedies, and you can achieve great heights. Lots of people who are like doing well, who have done well in the past, like Albert Einstein and Abraham Lincoln, who is the president of USA, and lots of great lawyers, great doctors are dealing with this placement of Rahu and Mars, and they have really done well in their lives and doing well currently. So friends, this was all about this placement. So if you have enjoyed the video, please do press a like, thumbs up, and thank you all for being here, and blessings to all of you.